You said the end game is different. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, how is the end game different for the men and for the women?
Globally for women, there are opportunities to go and make a living as a professional soccer player. You look at Sweden, you look at Germany, you look at Japan. There's some great leagues, Spain, and in the U.S. you've got the NWSL. So there are opportunities, but it's a much younger professional sport on the female side. And on the men's side, the MLS, it started in the 90s. It's growing, and it's doing very, very well right now. And there's more opportunities for men to have that career as a professional athlete or a professional soccer player. So I think the end game, essentially, it is a little bit different just because the professional side for the women, it's much younger. But in 10 years, could the end game be the same? Heck yeah, it definitely could be.
Exactly. I don't quite get how we can do such a great job of developing youth players in the United States and struggle so much to have a professional league. I mean, you played in WUSA, which was essentially funded from the 1999 World Cup, where we received a lot of money, startup money for this league, and your career essentially, I would imagine, ended when the league folded. I mean, all of a sudden there wasn't a league anymore for people.
Right, and that's a funny story. It is a lot of times, in the U.S. we had football, we had baseball, you had professional basketball. So there's a lot of sports that were well established in the U.S. And so looking at it from the men's perspective, the MLS at first struggled, first couple of years, and people question, is it going to survive? And look at it now. About 20 years now, it's thriving. The women's side, after 99, which is, I think, a monumental moment when we won in 99, not just for female soccer, or female athletes, but females in general. It was, I think, to this day, it was still the most viewed sporting event in the world and in the history of television. I mean, it was unbelievable. And there was some momentum that went into the creation of the WUSA. And sometimes, passion and business, if they mix too much together, you can, mistakes are made, and, unfortunately the WUSA didn't survive. I actually continued to play, continued to train. I started coaching at Stanford University, and kept playing, kept training, hoping that it was going to come back. I played in some of the semi-pro leagues and had a blast and enjoyed the game. And I really have learned to treasure those 2 years in the WUSA and being surrounded by some of those incredible females that really brought the game to an international level. I'm forever indebted to them. And then you had the WPS that came around, and we like to do things so grandiose, so big. Throw a big party. It can't just be a little backyard barbecue. It's got to be on a big stage for everyone to see. And in the startup world, that can be difficult. I think the NWSL model right now is they're doing it the right way. They started smaller. They're controlling the growth. They've got in Portland. People are scalping tickets to go to those games. Great. It's incredible. And I think it's neat to see in year 2 here, you've got Seattle, who I think they were dead last year, made some great trades and acquisitions in the off season, and now they're undefeated. So I think it's an exciting time for women's soccer, and I think 10 years from now that end game could be pretty equal to the men.